So we have made a video on this before, but we shall start again from the beginning. So back in 2019 we started going through the planning permission and building control processes in order to put in a new toilet block. Now the idea behind this was to primarily improve the visitor experience and drastically improve our disabled toilet facilities on site. So before we look at the toilet block in too much detail, let's just have a little quick look at the scale of the project. So essentially we end up with a gents, disabled and ladies toilets, along with a substantial storeroom. Now the building has been designed to replicate a traditional railway structure. Go back to March 23, where a lot of preparatory work was made to prepare the site ready for building work to commence, where in April we then had help from a contractor and from our volunteers creating the footings for the building. In June, thanks to further funds and availability of contractors, the brickwork started. And to facilitate this, our volunteers erected all the scaffolding as required and moved all of the blocks and bricks by hand to the building site. So a year ago now, in July, the trusses arrived that were made off-site, and then our volunteers had to move these and subsequently erect them correctly on the brick supports. From this, further small works continued, including moving the scaffolding, fitting the insulation blocks required, and generally preparing ready for the fascia boards. Rolling on Christmas 2023, it was all hands on deck to not only decorate the site, but to try and get a weather-tight building. In this case, spending many hours moving individual slates up onto the roof ready for fixing. It was time to start getting all of the drainage to work. Now, due to the height of the septic system on the site, unfortunately we had to add a sewerage pump to ensure that everything flows correctly. While this was carried out, we were able to get a lot of the internal floor insulation laid, and then with the help of an external contractor, have the screeding carried out, whereby in April, with the screeding drying out and starting to move on to internal works, the dagger boards could be fitted to create that authentic railway look. As always, we're very dependent on our volunteers dedicating their time to help build this structure. In this case, there are many jobs that can be done via our volunteers, but we have to acknowledge the available skill set and funds and take advantage of contractors where necessary, such as doing the footings. While the main toilets were plasterboarded, we decided we all needed to rest our arms and continue work in the storeroom, principally starting off getting all of the ventilation in place ready for insulation and plasterboarding to be carried out. As of August, Steve has managed to get a significant amount of the ceiling taped and skimmed in filler, ready for further sanding, which is always a fun job on a ceiling. And that is just in time for myself to put my foot through the floor and finish rolling out the rest of the insulation. Now, as things progress, we are currently looking to get all of the windows and doors fitted. That will then permit us to start working on the electrics and plumbing. But until then, we will continue to carry out cosmetic work such as painting, and then it will be the case of working on the outside of the building. As always, thank you to all of our volunteers for their continued efforts to get this project built. Now, as always, these things are limited both to volunteer availability and funds. So if you wish to support us, please get in touch, or if you wish to make a donation, please see the link below.